Not quite ready for that kind of snow yet, Kristi. Tell me it's still going to be a while.
Well, you just never know. October is definitely one of those months, Sophie, that it could go either way. But there's no snow in the forecast right now. I can tell you that. But we certainly are in that period of the season that we could flip-flop. This is a scene out there right now. It was gray and much cooler this morning. Temperature-wise, we only warmed up to 16 degrees. We've had 30 to 50 millimeters of rain just across the lower mainland region. And then far greater moisture across the Vancouver Island and Sunshine Coast region, where we still have high stream flow advisories in place, and then just one area has a flood watch. So even though the rain has now begun to ease off, the impact on the rivers and streams will continue for the next couple of days. It takes a while for the impact to be felt all across the region, and we're still seeing this southerly flow bringing in the moisture across the region with another system on deck. So we're definitely in fall mode right now. We will catch some breaks though, and the one break for the South Coast and Metro Vancouver region will be tomorrow morning. So Truth and Reconciliation Day, waking up to sunshine across the region, which will be nice. A lot of the kids are off school, but quickly we'll see increasing cloud. We have a chance of showers in the afternoon, but it's more so dinner time and into the evening and overnight hours that we'll see the rainfall. And then we're going to continue to see rainfall on Wednesday, but a nice little sort of gap in between the systems for our day tomorrow. And you can see that through the interior regions as well. Temperatures are back to near seasonal values. A slight chance of showers in these areas here as that system that we're seeing today pushes out of the region. The west coast of Vancouver Island and northern regions will start to see rainfall from the next system, especially by the afternoon hours tomorrow. But for our region, it's really more the late afternoon hours, Sophie, dinner time, and then in the evening that we'll see the rainfall. And yes, this is the pattern that we're expecting throughout the week. No snow in the forecast, but we certainly have some rain. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Kristi. All right, let's bring in Kristi Gordon now with a look at the weather forecast. And Chris and I were saying during the commercial break,
we agree we're done with the rain already.
It's too long.
It's literally been, what, 2-3 days, you guys?
Yeah.
You have a long way to go still. Sorry to say. So we've had, anywhere from 30 to 50 millimeters of rain just in the last few days, and it definitely feels like fall out there. I get the transition and how hard it can be on the system after we had such sunny weather. That amount of moisture is more than what we've seen sort of in a few months, except for that one very wet day in August. So it is a bit of drastics to our system, drastic impact to our system. And these are the rivers and streams, so an impact to those areas. And we still have high stream flow advisories in place for all of the South Coast, one flood watch. So steer clear of the rivers and banks because they can be a little bit unstable, certainly. And the impact of that moisture still takes a while to sort of make their way through the tributaries and streams. So one of the reasons why there's so much smoke in the interior right now is because we have this strong southerly flow. That is bringing in some good moisture to those regions, but it's also pulling in that smoke. So I wanted to show you the difference between a sunny day and what they're seeing in Osoyoos. Yeah, it is quite drastic, and all of these areas are under that air quality advisory. Tomorrow we're going to wake up to sunshine in Metro Vancouver, so a nice start to our Truth and Reconciliation Day. A lot of kids have the day off, which is great, so that we have that sunny skies, but we are going to see a transition with cloud cover shifting in, and we're expecting rainfall, to a chance of showers, I suppose, in the afternoon, but it's more in the dinner time and the evening hours that we'll see that shift in, and it will continue to be wet on Wednesday. So there's your forecast, everyone, with a nice bright start to the day for most areas. Still a chance of showers in the Okanagan Valley with a risk of thunderstorms, really isolated though. And for our region, we're expecting some rainfall along the west and northern part of Vancouver Island, but for Metro Vancouver, should be dry for most of the day, just that chance of showers in the afternoon, but more so it's in the evening. And yes, it's no wonder Chris and Sophie were having a hard time with the change. Yeah, there's not much of a change over the next few days other than some brightness in store for us tomorrow. Tonight's Cloverdale Paint is coming to you. Cloverdale Paint weather window is coming to you from Coldstream. This shot was captured over the weekend where Dan went for a hike, and that's a beautiful look back at the town there. So thanks, Dan.
Worth the effort to get up there for sure. Yeah. Thanks, Kristi.
All right.
All right, big news about EA Sports today. Sold for $77 billion. They're still pumping out some amazing content.
A lot of games, and of course, we know that EA has a big campus in Burnaby. Also, they have an office in Vancouver, I think, on Great Northern Way. But whatever the case, this has nothing to do with them being sold. Recently, I went over to see how they put together their NHL game that comes out every year.
This is the engine room of what gamers like to call the Chell.
the NHL game franchise that's put together at the Burnaby campus of EA Sports.
This city's been buzzing all day, and it's time to...
And putting out a new version of this every year takes a lot more work than you might think.
I mean, in a certain respect, it never ends. But I would say if we really had to kind of put a start and an end point on this, oh man, I would say maybe 15 months.
And then over the course of the year, based on how players perform with their point outputs and how they're doing in the league, there will be adjustments along the way.
So in other words, the work never ends. But what does change constantly is how the game looks and plays. For example, this was the 1994 version. The players' faces aren't shown. And this is now.
The likenesses of players that's something where we spend a lot of time and try to get that right. But yeah, trying to get, our goal will be to get every single player spot on, so that no matter who you're a fan of, whether it's a fourth liner or a top star, that you're seeing your player represented properly in the game. And so that's a consistent challenge that we have.
And they also want to duplicate the individual skills. So they now use the NHL's Edge technology, which has sensors put in players' sweaters and pucks every game to measure various data.
By being able to have access to that data and understand how fast players are actually skating, how hard they're shooting, that allowed us to build the right representation of these players.
But EA knows it still must always remember that this is first and foremost a video game.
From the perspective of the consumer, they need to come out of it having felt like they played an authentic game of hockey, but it needs to be the most fun it can possibly be as well. And I would say we focus just as much on the fun as the authenticity side of things. So we really do need to try to find that balance.
If it's authentic, it comes with a certain smell, does it not?
You want it to smell like hockey equipment in a dressing room after a game?
My mudroom.
Nobody wants that.
I don't want it, but
There's nothing fun about that.
Kristi will know that.
Yeah.
She's got a couple of boys that play, yeah.
Yeah, it's the gloves. The gloves are horrible. Oh my gosh.
Well,
and they won't let me wash them. The superstitions around it, right?
Good
You
luck.
can't wash the gloves.
well, then they have to have the gloves in their bedroom.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
They don't mind it. They like it, I think.
Well, you get nose blind is what they tell us. You don't actually smell it.
You don't smell your own gloves after a while.
Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night, all.